Hello everyone, and my apologies for not making a video for a long time. I want to make a little bit simple video today, just showing the screen of the Trigon 6 editor from Soundtower. And I think we're just going to fiddle around a bit today and just play and see what we can create. So it's going to be a little bit more like an entertaining video. However, before I start, I want to point out that I've been ordering the Roland Gaia 2, so I'm a bit excited and you might ask why I just bought that digital synthesizer if I like analog synthesizer. Well, it's simply because one reason is that I immediately noticed that it's completely like a Pro 3, but a digital instead, and has an interesting wavetable oscillator. So we will see what that looks like. A video will come in that when it arrives to me in a few days, so please stay tuned and we will have some fun with that synthesizer. So the Soundtower editor for Trigon 6, and you have so many other Soundtowers from them for other synthesizers that really covers them all. I would say that these these editors are actually pretty good. What I really like about them is that you can, if you load a program, for instance here, let's say I load this program, you see that all the changes are visible, so you can actually like take a peek on the patches if you want to learn how to make patches and see what others have made. From the one they have in the synthesizer, it opens up that possibility. Other possibilities are that you can easily navigate taking backups. For example, if I go to File, I can load all the Trigon 6 data to the Trigon, and I can save all the Trigon 6 data to the computer. So I highly recommend this desktop version, is especially the one I like most of them. There are some plug SC that you can implement in the DAW, but I haven't tried them so much, so I cannot say so much about them, what I think about them right now. There are so many also some other good things here, like you can open the bank navigator, so you can rename patches easily, keeping them in computer, keeping searching for them. And then you have the voice tab here, so you can edit what you see on the panel on the synthesizer. So for example, that I'm open up and it's a nice patch, you see that we have all the synthesizer setting here in front of me. The downside, of course, is that if you sit here with a mouse, it won't feel as direct like on the interface on the synthesizer, but whatever. I mean, this is good in one way and the other is good in another way, and you can use the hardware at the same time and looking at this editor. So I would say that this opens up possibilities to create sounds. I cannot stay with. I wouldn't like to stay without them actually, because I think they are great tools and worth the money actually. However, let's take a little bit peek on, for example, the Run Forest Run patch, which is located on the bank 4 and program 0. And you can see that this patch, for example, was created with one sawtooth and using the third oscillator with no volume, which means that it's using the polymod for the frequency 1. And I think it's like, I don't see that if that would be any values added actually, so perhaps it's, if you want to add, let's try. Yeah, that was the purpose, because I think that around 127 in the editor, I think it's like standing on 0, so it wouldn't do anything. Exactly. And then you can also see that what effects been used, and of course you can see everything on the synthesizer also, but I mean the knob positions are like the most important ones. That's really hard to recap. So let's play around a bit now, and I have an initialized patch here on the first program on the bank 4, and as normal this the sawtooth is like activated. The cool thing with the Trigon 6 is that you can simultaneously activate the waveforms on each oscillator. So for example, you have a saw, or you can add a saw and a triangle. Would sound like that, triangle like this. Which open up some possibilities. And let's make a very normal patch, I mean a sawtooth patch perhaps. And as always, we don't want to, in some cases we want to overload the mixer a bit. Drive the filter. Let's try to reduce. And we can detune one of those. Awesome. Let's see what happens if we add a triangle also. Oh, that's beefy. And we haven't touched the filter yet. And here we have the color for the filter. How fat isn't that actually? And we can also tune it to add it to 2 poles. So we are skipping 2 poles extra, so we have 2 instead of 4. If you are technically interested, I mean, the low pass filter of a transistor ladder filter based is a series, I guess, of transistor and capacitors. I mean resistors and capacitors. And if I'm not wrong, and I mean that, so for each pole it's like one stage you're adding like some, so it's like 6 decibel per octave in the slope for each pole you're adding. So one pole will be 6 decibel per octave. 2 poles which is deactivated would be 2 of them, which would be 12 decibel per octave. So it's not as steep as a 24 decibel per octave. So adding 2 poles will make it more, not cutting as hard in the frequency band. Like this, for example. So it's like, you would get the feeling like if you have 2 poles, you need to turn the knob way more to reduce the frequency of the high frequencies, and that's because it's not as steep as the 4-pole filter. And this will of course affect the resonance behavior. You hear it? So which one is my favorite? Well, it depends on what you are going for. Like, I think 2-pole has made the sound feeling suited very well for pads. And if you want a more aggressive change, like creating more like instrumental simulating things, I think you would go for the 4-pole filter. But it's a matter of taste. I mean, there's no right or wrong in that, so just pick what you like. Here you can use change the how much the filter will open depending on how high you play on the keyboard. So half will open it a little bit, full will open it way more when you travel across the keypad. And let's add some. I can also point out that sometimes it can be like the amplifier, for example. It can make this is something you can play around with the whole day, and also the ADSR for, I mean ADSR for the filter, because this is where we create the movement of how the filter will open, the amplifier will open over time, and this is what sculpts the sound. I mean sculpture the sound. What I like about the Trigon 6 is that this is sort of a very juicy and beefy sounding synth. I mean, I have Prophet 6 and OB6. I like them very much. I like all of them. They are good at their things, what they are doing. The Trigon 6 for me is like, it has like a more quirky, cool sound when you push it a bit harder. And I think the Prophet 6, you can create very cool sound, but it's the difference there, I would say, is that they are more clear and pronounced in a way that is typical the Prophet 6 filter, which I like very much. Also, that's why we have all synthesizers. The effects on the synthesizer, which is located over here, are very good actually. The ones that are favorite to me is the phaser 2, the chorus, the delays. Well, they are good, but I tend to prefer to have the delays in the DAW because I have some nice plugins from, for example, Eventide or Universal Audio, which I prefer for delay. But they are not bad in this synth. I mean, they are really good. So not speaking any bad about them. I would say they are good, but my favorites are in the DAW. So to have these built in is really good. What I like about chorus, for example, is that it adds a bit fatness, like chorusing. That was with. That's without. Really cool, huh? And on this synthesizer, if I'm not wrong, the effects are traveling in chain. So effect A will push down to effect B. So I guess that will mean that first it will pass here and then over to here. If I'm not completely wrong, anyone can correct me if I am wrong, actually. Write a comment. I'm not sure here, but that's what I think it does. Yeah, it seems right. Sounds like the chorus is passing to the digital delay. Really nice. Think I will save this sound. Let's save it. Pressing the right button. I noticed that the screen for for writing just appeared on the other screen, which I'm not broadcasting on, so you cannot see it, unfortunately. But I'm saving it on the program bank too, so it's here right now. And this is initialized. And I'm going to be very honest that I don't know why, but I really prefer to use the editor like so much when I'm designing sounds. It's like nice to have this. I don't know if it's like it's comfortable using the mouse or if it's like yeah, just me thinking like it is. But it's good to have the balance also to use hardware and the software. But the software editor gives a good feedback that I like, especially when searching menus like this, you know. So how can we make this more interesting? Perhaps we can take some pan spread. Nice. Distortion perhaps. Think this will not be what I'm searching for, but let's try it anyway. I think not for this patch perhaps, but I would say distortion is really cool in some cases. Let's try to change the oscillator positions. That's mean. Try to push some feedback drive into the filter, and as you see in this editor, you can think about, in most cases I think the 127 value is like in center position, but this can be a little bit like a graphic user interface bug, so live with it. I mean, it's pointing there, it should be pointing in the middle, but I'm always looking at these numbers there. Searching for. Wait a bit. Yeah, this will be confusing me, you see, because 127, was it there? I don't remember. I'm not sure actually. Well, let's leave that for now. We think that it's around here. That's the beauty of analog. It's not like spot on always. So, but this is digital interface, so we cannot complain. We cannot say that anyway. However, I think we can try to modulate something here. Perhaps the filter with the LFO. Change the 4-pole. Play around with the filter from modulated by the oscillator 3 with polymod. Nice. It's so easy to get like stuck for hours with this synthesizer. And if you want to have like some concrete feedback from me about since owning the Prophet 6, OB6 and this one, of course I can tell you directly, like if you're going to pick one, well, it's very hard to say which one would be the right one. It depends always on what you prefer, like in the character and things like that. But one thing I can say for sure is that since the Trigon 6 has a third oscillator, which is assignable to for the polymod, it opens up a bit new extra possibilities, which are nice compared to have the polymod bound to I think it's the second oscillator. It should be, I guess, on the Prophet 6 and the OB6. But it's always like that. I mean, even if you open up new possibilities, you will always be locked in one way. So I mean that even if this one has this possibility, I mean, it's the Prophet 6 feels, you don't feel yourself too locked in any way, I guess, because I mean, I've been having, you can make many things with that synthesizer that it's not a limit how it's built. It's I mean, you can make so many sounds on that one. But this one feels like you have some extra possibilities. I cannot deny on that one. And to have the possibility to change from 4 to 2 pole is really, really nice. I mean, on the OB6 you have the 2 pole, which is the character of the Oberheim filter. And on the Prophet 6 you have the 4 pole filter. On the Prophet 6, I'm not sure, I think I'm right on this one, but look up before so I don't tell any lie now. But I think Prophet 6, when you open the resonance on that one, I think you're not losing the bottom and the bass, I mean. And on the Trigon 6, however, you're losing the bass, but you can compensate it with this filter feedback. So you just go in that direction a bit and you feed it back and the signal to the filter, and it will you will add some bottom back to it. So that's not a huge problem. But there is one thing that I think people are not forgetting about. It's that this is a polyphonic synthesizer, and it will be very overwhelming if you're having like low tones on too many keys at the same time. So I think it's more preferable to have that you lose some of the bottom when increasing the resonance. So that's what I like. So I like this design a lot. can sacrifice the third oscillator to put it in a low frequency mode. You can do this on the Prophet 6 as well, and I think the OP6 also, but I don't remember exactly. But on Prophet 6 you can, however. And but the good thing is that you still have two oscillators now. You're not losing the like to have only one like you have on the Prophet 6 then. So that's a huge advantage with the three oscillators. And the cool thing is that since it's on the oscillator basis, you can also put keyboard tracking on or off on this one. So it will increase the frequency on the higher notes and slower frequency on the lower notes. Really cool, huh? So you see that you can do so many sounds with this synthesizer that it's incredible actually, and it sounds so warm and lush and fantastic. Let's try to put off the effects now. As you can see, the effect, the chorus and delay, it adds so much to the synth. Let's try the phaser. When using the phaser, I recommend like to put a lot of signal processing like on it. On the chorus, I really like to put it around there, around 28, 25. This is maximum. But this, I like to have it slightly blended with the raw signal and the process signal. Well, I guess we could spend time forever on this one. I think I'm just going to be satisfied with this video, or else it would be too long and boring. However, the Gaia 2 is arriving shortly in some days, and I will make a video about it. If you watch the video till now and listening to my speaking, perhaps you have some wish that I want to something that you want to see on the Gaia that I can record for you on the video. So it will be very exciting. And the reason, as I said before, I bought the Gaia 2 is that I think it sounds not as I want in all cases, but it was not so many review materials, but from the reviews and some fiddling around with it, it seems that you can do so many cool things with just the one wavetable oscillator. And of course, if I had much money, I would instead have been buying the Groove Synthesis third wave. That's a really beautiful synthesizer, and I think it's really one synthesizer on my wish list before thinking about rounding up my collection and starting to sell before I buy ones, because I think I reach a limit where I don't need any more synths, because it's just repeating all over then with the same things and different layouts only on the synthesizers. Alright, I hope this was okay, this session, and I shortly will make the video of the Gaia 2, so take care everyone.